generation and enhance efficient and prudent management of resources in order to achieve financial sustainability. Why the need for this vision? I've listed a lot of issues, but I've tried to ask a question here. What were the issues that warrant this strategic trust? Inadequate funding from government. Inadequate internally generated fund. High cost of running a multi-campus system. I'm sure you're aware the main source of income from government has been the compensation, money to pay salary. And even this, it's always in arrears. And we have to rely on other sources to even pay salaries. Only few instances where we get some money from Get Fund. Even this, I'm sure colleagues are waiting for the Odum block. When we got allocation of 600,000 from Get Fund, we said we need to, because our staff are not finding a place to sit. Let's try to use it, see if we can complete. So we looked for the contractor. We invited him. Then we said we want to use this, see if we can continue on that building. He said, okay, he would. But we have to top. So with IGF, we decided to top. We top up and we started the project. He's expected to pay us back because Get Fund is supposed to complete it. He just submitted certificate of 400,000. Until now, they haven't paid. They haven't paid. So it tells you the major and reliable source of income has been IGF. And you know, IGF is also not enough. And then high cost of running a multi-campus system. The fact is that most of our senior, I would say that sister universities, started on a single campus. But we started with the multi-campus. Now, if you look at Doma, we still have 3 other campuses. And when we have such a situation, it compounds the problem. So cost. We have to transport colleagues from Doma to here. It all costs. So these are all some of the issues here. So what do we do then? Together, what do we do? So the strategy that we adopted to pursue sustainable income generation. We cannot sit there if our income generation is not adequate. What do we do? We need to find other means. So when we assumed office, together we said we established UNE Enterprise. The idea is for the UNE Enterprise to identify other businesses so that we can have UNE business. And so the UNE Enterprise has been established, registered as a limited liability company. So far, identified some companies, but I must say that none of them has been fruitful yet. Initiated with the water, with migrate water, it hasn't been fruitful yet. There's a business center at where we have around the roundabout. We have an MOU with a company to have a filling station, mall, restaurant, at least to give a place, and very car washing and all that. And this since 2022, but it has not started yet. I must say that what actually resulted in the standoff was the fact that when they had to register the land, because of the filling station, they have to register. And when they went to, we are within the Sunyani West. Okay? And the act that established the university say the university is in Sunyani. But the investor was asked to change the location to Fiapre, which will contradict. As a result of that, there has been a standoff, and that project I haven't seen it. So the investor is pulling off, and we are getting another investor. So we hope the coming year we're able to identify other businesses. Then student enrollment. The most reliable source is through school fees from the student. But enrollment, when I assumed office, the student population was 7,800. And now we are over 14,000. So we realize we need to find means of increasing enrollment. So we come out with a smart outreach program. Our outreach program is so unique, different from the rest. That has resulted in these numbers so far. And that has actually helped us also to start some other projects that you can see around. Short courses, some of the centers, School of Agriculture, I've been doing some training. The KIC have been supporting. GIZ has also been supporting. They've been training farmers from the three northern regions, now more than three, the northern regions, and others. I know RCs has also been involved in training on water, solar-powered irrigation. There has been a lot of training, and solar PV, installation, and all that. So we hope that other departments and schools are also involved in training. And all this has brought in some money. Then research grant. Our research grant, the number of research grants has also increased by 7.8 million. I mean, increased by, when I assumed office, there were about 7 million. And mainly because of the Center for the RCs, because that project alone was about 6 million. And so there were additional, making 7 million. But in addition, within the 4 years, we have all added 7.8 million dollars. So all these are sources of income, which means, it means that our next term, we need to work hard, the secretary people, so that we can, we'll look at some of the strategies which we have resulted into this one. Then we need to also strengthen the income generating unit. There have been some income generating unit. When I assumed office, cafeteria had closed down. Cafeteria was not in operation. So we need to work around the clock and get its operation. And the boards are here. Now, it's also generating some money to the university. Univeristy School. Univeristy School had to be strengthened. I must be frank. The basic school, you saw it like that. Apart from the fact that the population has increased from 200 to about 1,030, about 1,130. So the learners, the students they are referred to as learners, their population has increased to 1,030 or so. And also, there was no bank account for a basic school. No bank account. There was no accountant. No even records. And what used to happen? Even collection of fees was difficult. People accumulate fees, including staff. They are what? Some staff. And what used to happen? They can accumulate as much as 6,000 cedis, then they move their what? To other schools. Meanwhile, we were feeding them twice a day. So, what does it mean? We are rather using the university's resources to feed them, and they were not paying. This is the stark truth about basic school. Now we have strengthened it, and it's now profitable. Then, Center for Agriculture, Technology, and Research. When I assumed office, we used to have a school farm, but we work out and then make it a proper center, and so far, they have also increased in income from the center. So income generation units, as I said, have been strengthened. Then we have got grant. As you're aware, Ghana Gas committed 40 million cedis for the construction of the hospital. So that is in terms of income. GMPC is also committing 2.65 million for the construction of lecture theatre office complex. Let me mention this. We are here, this trust is on income, so I'm not emphasizing on the infrastructure. If I'm to emphasize, what I would say is that when I assumed office and came around and I saw, even before the assumption, that we need infrastructure, I started, before my investiture, I had already gone around to look for this opportunity. So I had this kind of approval even before my investiture. So that is a 2.65 million from GMPC for construction of lecture theatre office complex. They started the process. They decided to take over the procurement process. And it got to evaluation stage. Then the director, CEO, was relieved of office. And that is the end of the story. But it is part of their project. The new CEO, we are still in talk. And we hope this project, our second term, with your prayers, we're able to see this being fruitful. So that our place for lecturers and then offices for the teaching staff. But that explain, let me use this to explain why we opted to use IGF for multi-purpose, which is mainly administrative block. Because I know that GMPC was putting up a lecture theatre and office complex. And also, I also requested for the hospital because here you are, we have lecture theatre and offices for the lecturers. We have the administrative block. Then the hospital will actually also offer a service to our catchment area. That makes us, that's all. 8,624 generated monthly from satellite ground station co-location. I must thank the Yorick team. Initially, the charge that they were used to pay, they were paying was so small. So they decided to renegotiate. And now we are receiving over $8,000 every month from this satellite co-location. And more is being identified. 10th anniversary, we had 230,000 raised. Then recently, we have received $30,000 from coral reefs. We want to establish digital laboratory to also modernize our teaching. Other source of income, our alumni, SRC, NUCS, GAWA, PTA, Welfare Association. Obviously, my association is missing. All these contributors significantly, because of time, I don't want to mention, but they all contributed significantly source of income to support this. Welfare, buying bars, SRC buying bars, and doing a whole lot of things. So it tells you that together we all achieve it. So UTAC, where are they? Your name is not here, so. Yes, then the prudent and efficient management of resources. So we are looking at two things. We have issues with funds. What do? We are looking at means of generating extra income and then how to also manage the little resources. So prudent and efficient management of resources. So first, we boosted staff addition and training. We recruited staff, some of the income generation areas. No, I mean, procurement, audit, finance. All these areas we recruited staff, to augment the staff And also training. There have been a lot of training for them to build their capacity. Then we have developed financial regulation policy. And so there was no financial regulation policy. We used to rely on that of tech. But now we have our own developed. We have starting controls, established central stores to manage supplies. Every university have got their stores. What used to be the case? There was no central stores. We used to have 2 stores. The hostel, one, has some stores with a storekeeper there. And then the storekeeper was Enoch. He used to also man, we used to have the stores close to the hospital. And the 2 were not linked. The storekeeper at the hostel was not under the storekeeper here. So now we build a central store, or we establish a central store where we have it now, Odumbrook area. So, Sawmill area. And so now they are linked. And the one at the hostels is also under the university storekeeper, so that we can now plan procurement properly. Then we have developed stores and inventory management policy. You see, for governance of every system, we need policies. One of the things that we observed, there were some of the key policies were not in place. So stores and inventory management policy, contract management policy were all developed to guide. So my second term, what are we going to do together? We are going to try and sustain and strengthen the gains that we had in the first term. What it means that whoever contributed, we need to do more. As I said, the presentation is what together we have done. I'm a single person. So it's your achievement, our achievement. So the endowment fund, when I check, the money there is not enough. So we are going to relaunch endowment fund. We wanted to do that this year, but when we tested, the ground wasn't fertile to do that. So hopefully next year we're going to do that. Yorick, already they are working on identifying other ground stations to increase co-location fee. Adoption of some selected SHS is something that we are doing to increase and boost the student numbers. The strategy is to adopt some selected SHS so that we always get them. And because of this, we've attended speech and prize giving day, Sewakese, Kenya's, what's the name? Ola, Sahes, and this Sunday, SDA, Bantama SDA, they are inviting me to attend. I'm paying attention to all this because they are all strategies of getting them so that they will always come here as the first choice. Smart outreach programs will continue. We try and cover. In fact, so far we have not covered the entire country with respect to the outreach, but we hope to cover the entire country to boost student numbers. Then we're also trying to introduce efficient procurement processes and procedures to ensure value for money. It's area we're going to pay special attention. So now we have e-procurement. So we're going to now strictly adhere to e-procurement through the GANEPS. Then we're going to sign framework agreement with suppliers for most essential goods. I'm sure you are aware, some office stationery, you won't get it, cleaning material, And because of that, at a time of matter of urgency, you have to acquire, and it becomes expensive when you have to do that. But when we sign framework agreement with such items, with a higher turnover, it becomes very easy. And that can help us to reduce costs. And that is something that we're going to do. Then introduce electronic requisition format. If I'm not available and I need to, you make a request. If the VC is not there or any of the finance procurement is not there, you're not able to. But if you're able to digitize it, wherever you are, we're able to also sign your portion. And that will make it fast. One of the problems that has been happening here is, you say, During your request, they will check and say that there's money. By the time the actual procurement process will commence, about 3 months earlier, and that money might have been used up. So when you finish, there was no money to pay. There's a delay. And because of this, the suppliers also end up, maybe the price also increase. But if you're able to introduce this, then the whole process can be quick. And that is what we seek to do this time, to ensure that we're able to have a value for money. Then we are going to procure HR and accounting softwares. So far, our accountant, I really respect them, our accountant. They have to do manual and it's a disgrace this time. But with the accounting software, it's easier. And we can also track balances and the expenditure and all that. Then HR, human resource software. If you want to go on leave, you just put in. Everything will be going to be easy. So it's something that we had wanted to do, but now we hope that by the time school resumes, this software has been, because we have already initiated the process to procure them. The YE office, remember they started the deployment, but it's got stuck somewhere. So we hope we're able to also add that one. So if we digitize our communication, it becomes very easy. And when it's more efficient, we're able to save resources. Thank you. Because it's very expensive. Stationaries, apart from fuel, the next area that we have that's high cost is other stationery. But if you're able to adopt a paperless system, then it means you can help us to reduce costs. Develop energy policy. Energy policy. University, we are trying to look at how we can save money. Okay, save costs. Later on, I will allow you to add. You see, some of you leave office for break, and at times even for home with your air conditioner on. Lights on. At times I come to the administration, there's lights even weekend. I'm sure if with the energy policy, even the use of energy efficient bulbs, LED bulbs, as soon as you enter, then lights, how do you refer to that? So they are developing a policy. I've tasked the team, in fact, energy, Dean of Energy. Where is the policy? I've requested for it. I've already tasked them, but they haven't brought them yet. So that, especially the use of solar, now we all must move into solar. When the Vice Chancellors met the minister last time, they were all complaining of the cost of electricity. And so we are all thinking of moving into solar, but we should be the first because we are energy. And so we must move to energy, solar and all that. So I'm sure that can help us too. So develop energy policy, transport policy, develop a risk register, and then ensure effective dissemination and implementation of existing policies. Ghana, we say that we are good in making policies, laws, allies, but the problem is implementation. So we make sure that, led by maybe quality assurance, we need to develop workshops so that some of the policies that are useful, we have already developed, we disseminate them and ensure compliance and monitor. So you need to monitor the implementation of this. Okay. So that is with the first vision, strategic vision, how to increase income and then reduce cost. The next one is improve and expand ICT for teaching, learning, research, and administration. What were some of the issues? Our ICT infrastructure were obsolete, old infrastructure, poor internet connectivity, and non-availability of key softwares, applications, even laptops. They were using their own laptops. There was no even laptops for them. So, IT staff, inadequate IT staff, and tools. All these were concerns And so together we try to develop solutions. And what have we been able to do so far? We appointed a substantive director. One of the problems that we've been having, and when GTEC 5 years agricultural review, when they came here, 2020, one of the report is that most of our positions are held by those in acting capacity. And it was true. So IT was an acting. In fact, so that when I don't repeat when I get to human resource. All other positions under registrar's office, apart from the registrar and works director at that time, and works director at that time, everybody was on acting. All the 4 divisions were on acting. Academic, HR, general administration, URO, they're all acting position. Then we come to the academic department. Some of the HODs were Mr. without even senior lecturer. And 2022, auditors came and queried us. Maybe you are not aware. They queried us. Why do we have a lot of acting positions? So I went to Accra, begged them, and said, we are growing. Please, will you allow them? Give us 6 months. And that's why we try and try to speed up our promotion so that we're able to get. That is a problem. But when we said this, they told us, they referred us to some of the universities that were just, at that time, about 3 years, 2 years old. They were just 3 years old, but they have appointed qualified people. So they said, what you could have done. I mean, if one act for a year or two, you replace. But that wasn't so. So the IT director was appointed first. Then 9 additional technical staff were appointed. Then we set up IT committee. The IT committee is in the statutes, but it has not been operationalized. So we set up IT committee. And then we developed IT policy. Then we procured a 100 kVA generator as a power backup. It's there. Then we secured up to 1 million grants from World Bank through the Ministry of Communication and Digitization to improve our ICT infrastructure. Sadly, this amount, we're supposed to get a portion about 3 million. But because we're not having probably a qualified permanent director, we miss out this money. So when I brought in the IT director, he just followed up. And these were the remnants. It has a big money for various areas. They call it Transform, Ministry of Communication and what? Digitization. It covers several ministries. And we're supposed to get about $3 million. But when we trace, it was just a little that we got. But at least through the $900 or more $1,000 grant, we've been able to modernize our ICT. So we now have a state-of-the-art data center with all this being established. I don't have to mention everything. Yeah. So we've increased our internet bandwidth capacity from 2 STM to 5 STM. We have procured 7 state-of-the-art laptops for the IT staff. We've upgraded our Wi-Fi apps from 32 to 107. Then we developed key software applications for the university community, such as the academic tracker. Despite its associated, but initially, results used to delay so much because to queue in your results, you have to come in. But at the academic tracker, you can stay home and enter your results, and that has really at least helped. So what are we going to do together? Now, second term, we hope to expand our physical network infrastructure and Wi-Fi access so that you can get it everywhere, especially our Doma campus has a specific issue, which we're going to work on that. We need to create an innovation hub for ICT and app development, so also to generate income and for practicals. Construct a state-of-the-art building for the data center. You know, even though we have equipped it with a current modern equipment, I'm sure you've all seen our ICT directory. It's really not, it doesn't fit us. Looking at how you're beautiful like this, all of you. And that is too small. But that's all we're able to get. Now we are working hard to get some funds and construct, a fit for purpose ICT directory. So we are working seriously on that. Install solar PV system for the data center so that you don't rely only on the generator. You know, generator, we have to buy fuel all the time. And you know that generator also contributes to the climate change issue. We are going to install a time and attendance management system. Install access control system. These two are very important. We're going to work on that. We're going to start with the LC's building and the new administrative block. But we'll make sure we'll install this so that you just come in and clock. So the clocking system, it will ensure that people come to work, because especially Fridays, I learn people run away every day. Introduce email marketing. To set up innovation hub, I've already mentioned that. Then consultancy service. One of the things that we tax the department is that for every directorate, possibly to also involve in consultancy service as a means of generating income. I want to commend the IT directorate. They, I think, made a bid for national tender, but 3 projects, except that we didn't win. At least they're making, so I hope others will try and emulate that. To install AI-integrated campus-wide security surveillance system. Now, security issue was a problem, even though it has gone down. So now what we want to do is install CCTV with the AI installed. And that is something that we are going to work on. That improve admission process by integrating WIAC results database in UNED academic tracker, so that checking of results, verifying results from WIAC become very easy, and that can help us with the admission process. Right, I think these are all part of the second vision. So the third strategic thrust is increase in research capacity for enhanced visibility and internationalization. What were some of the issues? We had low research and publication output. The report from the cyclical review that I came to meet in 2020 complained about research. They say only few are involved in research. And even that, most of them, the publication, were also in journal that is not, in a high impact. And cited, there was only 187 papers in Scopus index journals as at that time. But now, as we speak, Provis, can you check for me? I didn't check the current one. Right. So currently, we have 1,257. But it was 187. Yeah. Do you know something? Once a province, you're always a province. Low visibility of the university was an issue. Few research grants. I think, there were about 7 projects. 7 projects. That's at 2020, only 7 projects. Currently, we have about 40 projects will come there. Inadequate research labs, then few collaborations between institutions. So these were some of the issues that warranted this as a topic. And visibility, you all agree, was low. So quickly, what we did, we recruited several qualified and skilled lecturers and research fellows. So if you look at Yorick had 1 or 2, 1 into bracket 2 research fellows. But now we have, and then we added 5 more. And then 3 technicians were also added to build their capacity. And if you check currently, publication from Yorick has increased significantly. And Yorick is an area that the uniqueness of our university can be found. Then centers. Center for Grant Research and Innovation was also established. It was important to lead the research, because if you are told that your research capacity is low, there was a need to pay special attention. And so we established Center for Grant Research and Innovation. Elsewhere in UCC they call Drake. Legon is what? ORID and Tech. ODR. OGR, okay, good. So we have ours as Segri. And I must commend the director and his team. They have developed university research agenda, set up university research fund. We want this fund to build up. When I received requests for support for conferences, in fact, when we turned down, within me, I'm not happy at all. I've not been happy, because I want that fund to support conferences as well and research. And so, as we are building upon, we hope that in a very near future, we'll be able to generate enough to support conferences, both abroad and local. Train staff on grantmanship, and I think that is one also reason why our awards has also increased. Research award scheme. Now, we are setting up a research award scheme for the staff to compete, because the point is, it's not everybody that initially can win international grant, but now there's a call for a local grant. So, and I'm sure you're all aware of that. So when is it coming off? You made the first call, okay. So that is the objective, so that everybody can, apply for this, and then establish school research committee board and all that. So then we have increased the number of research grants from 7 to 40, as you said. Increased the number of publications in Scopus Interjournals from 187 to 1,213 in October 2024. So it means we are on course. There are a lot. In fact, I must commend the staff for their research. The number of research that I mentioned, about over 40 or so. Some of them are so unique. The Level Up project, I just want to show. The Level Up project is supposed to be waste to energy, converting plant waste to energy. And the first consignment, valued over $2 million. You say, let me say this. This is educational material. Yet, we have to spend 660,000 Ghana cedis to ship this. We didn't get, waiver. That's a painful thing. That is a painful thing. This is how much we spend on this. But if we're able to, if it starts, it's able to generate enough power for some of, to augment our power supply. The university has obtained international accreditation for high quality standard. I think if you look at their website, we are the only one that had this ASIN accreditation from Germany, and it's very commendable. That is the institutional accreditation. And then RC's two programs that's being run by RC's, it was also within the School of Energy, have also gotten accreditation, international accreditation, which is very positive. So the waste to energy project, in fact, as a take home, wherever you are, you have to be proud that this is the best university, the research in waste to energy. Why am I saying that? We've been involved in 3 projects. One is a hybrid waste to energy by UU. This project converted municipal waste to energy. We were part of this project. That was commissioned at Yankoba in the Ashanti region. We were part of it, the research. Ourselves and K University did part of the research. Then the Reflect Africa, from over 22 collaborators, both Europe and Africa. This one is also resulting in, we have already, I think I'll show you, we have established a plant at Sola and commissioned it, that we are converting agricultural waste to energy. Then, on our own land, led by Acting Provost Chancellor, the Level Up project, where we show you we are converting all plant waste, both not only agric waste, but all plant waste also into energy. And so, you know, there are a lot of projects that these are very key and significant. I wanted to mention that. So it tells you that UNER is really on course. If you look at Reflect Africa, look at the collaborators across. Now, what again? We are talking of visibility. If you have, you know, collaboration with all these people, already we are there. So I think we are doing so well. Let's give a clap for yourself. And I hope you are going to do more so that, so this is just to show you the hybrid waste to energy project at Yankoba. This, you know, this is just to show you some of the pictures. This is one at Sola. That was also commissioned. That's converted waste to energy. Yes, carbon tower. I think since 2016 or so, with the collaboration of Czech Globe, they came and erected this carbon tower. But it has been it has been so this is about 2 years ago that we need to connect. In fact, connecting electricity to this carbon tower. This is erected in a Bia Tano Forest Reserve in Mim. Right. So note it. Bia Tano Forest Reserve in Mim. Connecting electricity to that place. We even went to Ministry of Energy to support us. Ministry of Environment and Science to support us to connect this. Because this carbon tower has significance for the country. And we didn't get any support. So we have to use our own meager resources to connect electricity to this carbon tower site. And this carbon tower is so unique. We are the only academic institution in Africa to have such a carbon tower. Note, maybe if you are close to anybody from Forest Research Institute, there are other carbon tower that only measures amount of carbon present. But ours is eddy covariance. It's able to measure the carbon exchange between the forest and the atmosphere. That is so unique, right? And that's what we have. And so you have to be proud that you are in an institution which is so unique. Then the UNER is actively involved in an innovative teaching and learning project called Impression. The acronym, Improving Study Program in Ghana by Introducing Green Solutions Sustainability Models. This is an Impression project. We have a nice lab mounted at his building, and it's also led by the acting Pro Vice Chancellor, current one. So we are it's going to help us to digitize our learning, okay, and teaching, because now blended teaching is a way to go. If you don't go for it, it means you become a cake. Right. We've also established 3 new centers Center for Research in Applied Biology. In fact, the CERAP, that was established first, and that has given birth to another center, Consortium for Neglected Tropical Disease and One Health. And that also happened to be the first time in Africa that we are having the Neglected Tropical Disease Center and One Health all together as one. And it's something which is also commendable. I also want to commend the researchers that involved. They even committed their personal funds from the project before we were able to put up this center. And what's the name? Tables. I think that's quite a very selfless approach. Center for Agricultural Technology Research and Production at Doma, we've also established it with, all these centers have got center heads and all that. Strengthen existing centers to enhance research output. We've just mentioned Yorick, for instance, was strengthened. 3CG, there was no research fellow, apart from the head. So we appointed 1 or 2 for you. Just as Yorick had only 1, or is it 1/2? I don't say 1.5. So now we added 5. So we strengthened the centers. Then we have provided financial support to some departments. CERAP had to bring in equipment, what do you call it, this laboratory. We pay over 200,000 cedis for them to be able to bring in this lab. Agric, School of Agric also, we pay also the similar amount, over 200,000 to also get, that's what kind of lab? What's the name of the lab? No, not bank. Seeding laboratory, yes. So we've been supporting. And then we have signed over 80, in fact, more than 80. When I say 80, it was the last report I put in 80. Several MOUs. Because one of the things, there were few, but now we have a lot of MOUs that we have signed to the university. And all these are to ensure visibility of the university. And a lot of, if you look at the number of dignitaries that have come here, it's even testified that the university is really. All right, so these are some of the new grants that we've been winning. We are still winning. Just to move on. We also want to sustain and strengthen the Journal of Energy and Natural Resources. I hope you are working on that. To become, Scopus, so able to index in Scopus. Then we hope to operationalize the foreign centers. Center for Inland Blue Economy. Center for E-Waste Management. Environmental Sustainability. And this is the first center in Africa to be established. By World Bank through EPA. It said that we have waited for long. We expected to, we've showed them the land and they expected to establish, put up their building and all that, but it has not taken off yet. Then Center of Excellence for Circular Economy and Urban Resilience. And there's also a project, Atin Province and engineer, is it there? I saw the face. Mankona Louis. Yes, so they are also leading that project. So we will be going more into this circular economy. Now, next step, because we are told that some of the waste are also money, the recycling and all that we need to. So we are going to that, our next step, something that we are going to work on. And we hope that the level R plant that is supposed to generate energy, but second term, we're able to start it and make it operational. Right, we are talking of visibility, the branding, registrar, URO, the URO people. So we need to, our branding is still low. When you are coming from Accra to Sunyani, you will not see any signboard with the name. And yesterday I showed them, if you go to Council Chamber, there are 2 logos. And the 2 logos, you go. After this, I want you to go and observe. If you're not able to see difference, then you need to take it to, it's Prophet, Dr. Fofie, you're here. Thank you. If you're not able to see difference, then you have to refer them to I something. Clearly, there are differences. Within the council chamber, the logos, the colors The brown. They say the brown is not the actual brown. They say it's what? Burgundy or something. But you can see on campus, we have different shades of brown, isn't it? And is it branding? No. So if somebody pirate our this thing, how can we know? So we need to do branding and marketing, and all that. We need to work on that. We want to continue to pursue collaborations, complete the application laboratory and library complex. I think it's something that we need. It's the application lab, I don't know. We hope that it will be able to complete. Set up a state-of-the-art all-purpose central laboratory. The plan is, if we have the lecture theater complex and offices, administrative complex, with the app lab, then we want to set up, that is going to be our next move, set up an all-purpose laboratory called Mega Laboratory, where every department can have, so chemistry people can have their wing, agri people, we can have our wing, and all that. So that is a mega lab we hope to. That together we're all going to put up. That is something that. We also hope to set up academic chairs in various disciplines. I think it's something that we need to look at. Dissemination of grant awards. Yes. Sponsor staff to attend both local and foreign conferences is key. In fact, I have not been putting much emphasis. When you receive your application, when we start, if you receive your application for promotion and realize that we have not attended any conference, we will not push it. But now we can't implement that because we are not sponsoring ourselves. But when we start it, we want to, because it's improved the quality of the staff. It's through that, through collaborations, we also enhance our internationalization. Okay. So that is the third. The fourth thrust is increase in student enrollment and improve quality of undergraduate and postgraduate programs. These are the students. And the key challenges that we have, inadequate accommodation and lecture halls for the student, low undergraduate and postgraduate enrollment, inadequate healthcare facilities for them. Most academic programs are not even accredited. When we resume office, the report from the committee gave only 8 programs were fully accredited. Only 8. 2020. From GTech review. The copies are there. Doma campus not accredited. It's something which is not good for us. But before we can do that, a lot of things need to be done. We need to get the 2 blocks to get complete. Now that we managed to get variation for the contractors, they should have started. But you see, the Get Fund project is said that the contractor must start with his or her own money, then you put in a request. The lecture theater complex at Sawmill, the contractor put in almost about 900,000 certificate for over 4 years now. He's not been paid. I've been working hard for the past 3 months to get that project to, beside the certificate, he has to also review because it's an old project. So prices have changed. Over a year ago, he submitted the revised document. Until now, they've not gotten the approval. And that is the problem here. Gender security challenges on campus, I'm sure you are aware. Non-operation of the cafeteria at Sunyani campus, none at Doma. So these were some of the issues that really did not help the students at all. So what have we done? At Doma, thanks to the SLC, we constructed a cafeteria there. Then we have renovated the 2 university hostels. Initially, the state wasn't good at all. Then we have completed the library capacity that we have. Total capacity was about 32. That is our university library. And this is the new library. We've been trying to get even a variation to be done by the by what people? The variation. The consultant. Because that project was awarded from Accra, not here. And that it has been a problem till now. So what we did, we spoke with the contractor. We got one of the big block. And we have converted into a new library with a sitting capacity of 107. And I think now it's something that has really helped us. In addition to that, there were some open places, Hall 1 and Hall 2. We have also converted that one into also library. And that have also added to our library facility. When the Zoom office, as I said, it was November. Then, I think, was it February or so, the following year, school reopened. The numbers has increased. There was problem for classrooms. So within 2 to 3 months, we have to find a place for this. And I must mention here, Professor Anadechi, the acting provost, and the wife, even graciously offered to give us their facility to be used to contain the increased numbers. Thank you very much for this generosity. But I also consider the student, because they have to cross roads and all that. So what we did, instantly, within 2-3 months, we constructed this pavilion. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the reasons for having this pavilion. And within 2 to 3 months, we were able to construct this 4 rooms. Each room have a capacity of 100 students. And that pavilion, when it rains, it doesn't leak. The one that was that was planned, Syndicate Hall, when it rains, it's flooded. Right, so that is it. Then we are now constructing a new astroturf for the university. It's ongoing. So hopefully, I'm sure they will finish before December. Or maybe before the year end. Healthcare. Now the healthcare facility runs, our clinic now runs 24-hour healthcare. Formerly it wasn't so, but now 24-hour healthcare. We have established a pharmacy, and we've appointed a qualified pharmacist. I'm sure you are aware. Even the lab, our lab, and when you even go there for malaria test, with all apology, they always ask you have to go to some filling station. There's a laboratory there, because the results were inconclusive, were not convincing. So we appointed a qualified laboratory technician, because before then students were operating the lab. They that's what happened. Appointed a qualified. In fact, we poached the head of laboratory technician from Central Teaching Hospital, Regional Hospital, and brought him here. And we've added 1 or 2 equipment. And so for now, we have very reliable source, and now we are also originating income from that, because public also, the interest, the trust is now very high as far as that is concerned. We have also recruited physician assistant. At Doma, we have also established a clinic there. And thanks to the immediate pass of former Minister of Health and an MP for Doma Central, who gave this. Now, currently, we have new antenatal units have been established. What again? Antenatal. Now, antenatal and postnatal. So please, the ladies, no fear. Just produce. Now, above all, we are giving you a fit for purpose hospital. So this is for both staff and students. Then program accreditation. Existing academic programs are either fully accredited or being accredited. I think I mentioned there were only 8 programs that were accredited. I think I'll show you a picture there. And now we have added, it's 70 here. Now, when we check, I think it's 125 or so. Now, 125 new programs have been added. And there are different levels of accreditation. Some, we are already running them. We have recently had approval to start some of them. So they are all going through, there are various stages of accreditation. We have established 12 new departments. 12 new departments. I will not go into detail. I'm sure you know them already. Then we established 2 new schools. This is University of Energy and Natural Resources. We have School of Natural Resources, but there was no School of Energy. And I realized that about over 5 universities are running energy programs. So if you sit there, we, with a mandate of producing critical human resources for energy, they will overtake us. So we have to establish School of Energy. And I think it's been justified. International Relations Office has also been created. Or is it created or established? Established, okay. You know, if you check, because of our regional center, there were students from over 12 or 11 countries. But there was no International Relations Office. And when I met them, there were a lot of issues. But ever since we established this center, most of the issues are gone. And so we have the International Relations Office also established to ensure that we boost our numbers. Right, so these were, because of time, you know, I don't want to show much. So you can see accredited programs were 8, and with the undergoing accreditation, 53, giving the total. That is what I came to meet. Then we added 60, 65, and then 125. So just to, you know, explain further about the number of kids. But in some, we said that now a lot of programs, most of our programs are being accredited or different. So it's either accredited or being re-accredited. But I must also mention that some have been discontinued. They have prevented us from continuing with some of them. I'm sure you know some of them. What are some of them? Some of the diploma programs. Before then, none of the diploma program was accredited. None was accredited. All right. So we also established Center for Entrepreneurship and Business Incubation. The reason being that, because if you look at my vision, I started using entrepreneurial. And so this is just to nurture some businesses with the business ideas. And that's the reason for establishing this center, to help the student. Then we have established student skills. In fact, it used to be skills enhancement. Now we are adding talent. We are adding talent. We are trying to modify it in the sense that we've seen some talent here. The last time, hospitality people called me. They invited me for a program and exhibiting how you can have a wedding, modest wedding, and all that. These are skills. And not only that, we have one of our staff, Ghana Most Beautiful, placing, giving us visibility. During the show, one of our students, Max Merlu or something, also doing well, placing well, and all that. And so we realized there's a need. So that is so unique. This is unique in this university. And I think that is something that's helping us. Then we've set up student help desk. It's the location that is an issue here, but former acting provisee have been leading that. Because when they have issues, at times they don't know where to go. If it's IT, they have to go to IT directorate. Nowhere in the university that you have to go to IT directorate direct. It has to be at a place, and so the help desk, we've been set up to address the student concern. We have also launched 2 collaborative unique programs, 2+2+4 undergraduate exchange programs with Jiangsu University. And here, with collaboration with the SHS students, we have some of the top SHS, including almost all the top SHS are involved. They will come here 2 years, then 2 years in Jiangsu University. We have started already, And it's 4, if it involves programs that we do not run it here, like medicine, then we recruit them and they go there for 4 years. Then African Agricultural Mechanization Demonstration Center. One of the Chinese government initiative, this Belt and Road Initiative, is to help to modernize agriculture in Africa. And so the strategy is that they're going to establish 1 center of excellence in Africa. And we managed to lobby it and had it established here. It is yet to be fully operational because of the changes at Jiangsu University that has actually delayed the process. So we hope to strengthen student internship and practical training. We're going to launch VC scholarship. It's very important. It's something that we're going to look at that together. Adoption of selected senior high schools. As I said, students have won both local and international awards, a lot of awards. Our students are doing so well, most of the awards. Like we mentioned of Ghana Most Beautiful, even though she didn't win, but already contributed to the visibility of this university, which is Erasmus exchange programs. We mentioned of Cosmos Innovation Challenge. Here I commend School of Agriculture, Abando and the team, where we competed with the universities, other top universities. And among all, 3 of our startup projects won prize. And the top most award was by one of our projects, the Yab Food. And that, they won $35,000. The other 2 won $20,000 each. And it tells you the quality of the project. In fact, we've been to several programs in Accra. And in the energy space, I'm telling you, it's all UNER products that are there. We are doing so well. You are aware, last 2 years, we have our product, Zoe, winning the most public speaking category and all that. And not only that, one student also at Greek, there's a competition challenge for Agric Input Dealer Business Challenge. There's competition among all the universities running agriculture, plus all the agriculture colleges. We ran a challenge, and our student, I've forgotten the name, came out top, won, with all the top universities there. And here he had about $75,000. I think we are getting very ready to go and commission. He's establishing a proper factory for that.
Launch on Wednesday, next week Wednesday.
All right. So we are going to launch.
This one is going to be established in Burma.
Okay. Right. So next week Wednesday we are going to launch it. So it tells you we are doing so well. For the first time, we have one of our students winning, Mr. John Sikasiami, winning the National Union of Ghana Students Secretary for Union Development. Now, so it means international. Can you give a clap, please? We've done so well. So you see, it tells you that we are also doing so well when it comes to the national. We are everywhere, everywhere. So in fact, in all this, I want to thank the staff. Shall we give a clap for yourself? Thank you very much. So these are the team. You can see them. Very jubilant. Yes. Okay. So what we hope to do, We are going to strengthen the university partnership and collaboration, establish new schools, departments, and centers. And for the schools, for instance, business school. Yes, we must have our business school. And then some centers, department. You're going to do that because, and as we expand our infrastructure, we hope to expand, and so that the university really will also. We want to encourage investors to build hostel for students, especially at Doma. We don't have a single hostel there. We have to complete the project, including the library complex, that introduce the concept of unique student. We want our student to be unique. Together with the SRC, we are going to introduce that. A unique concept. We want students that are smart. When you're working, it's not like working with your boyfriend or girlfriend. So, you work like a student. You know, it's very important. And very assertive. You understand? Because our students are doing so well. Now, we don't want timidity. I keep saying that. We have to be humble, but not timid. I'm humble, but I'm not timid. So, that is it. And a smart, neat dress and, all that. Not wearing slippers for lectures. You can't be Tokota. You have something around it, at least sandals type. And all this. So, we're going to work on that. We're going to introduce digital laboratory, introduce entrepreneurship course in almost all the programs. Then we hope to construct an overpass at the two areas, one here and one at the other side for our students. It's something that we also must work to do. All right. We have to also improve the quality of postgraduate programs. In fact, the number of postgraduate programs really determine the quality of a university. So, fortunately for us, our postgraduate programs are run on weekend. And that's one of the reasons why we get numbers. So, but every 2 weeks or a week, they have to come here. So now we're going to introduce the blended learning approach. Well, most of the universities are doing that, so that we can increase the numbers as well. And then timely defense for proposals and projects. You go to some universities, you finish your coursework, and even getting a supervisor become a problem. We want to ensure that. Increase in timely output from thesis. We want to ensure that we're able to produce more students at a time. We are also working on SIM card-enabled laptop with pre-installed learning management system for students. We are working with an NGO, Coral Reef. Already the students are aware. We're working on that. To give them laptop with SIM, already as a SIM enabled. It's customized with the STEM and other learning materials already there. And we hope to introduce this by next academic year. The students are going to pay, but it's heavily discounted. So there's a bank that is working on that. So we hope that it will also make it easy for the blended learning. Okay. IT laboratory, we hope to complete it at the Syndicate Hall. Then the lecture theater office complex, we hope to also complete it next year. Then we hope to adopt student-centered teaching technique, problem-based learning approach across the university. There have been about 2 or 3 projects. One, the impression project led by the acting province. There was one, the Aisha project. Professor Woyori and co were involved in it. And I think there are others that are all about the problem-based learning approach. And indeed, that is what GTech, our regulators, want us to do. And so we are going to ensure that the problem-based, student-centered teaching approach, it gives them confidence and all that. And we are going to ensure that we adopt it across the entire university. So that is a bit about the student. It's not everything we can say, but at least. Then let's come to, we are almost done. They're only, this one, the last one. The FIT Trust is develop value-added human resource policies, procedures, and programs to enhance staff performance. What were some of the issues? understaffing. Even that's that when I was in office, they were understaffing, and still, it's still a problem. Inadequate office space for staff, as I said, we really appreciate it. Inefficient healthcare, as at that time. Absence of key policies to enhance university governance. Absence of key policies. And one example is the scholarship and staff development policy, staff development policy to guide study leave. The first day we attended scholarship and staff development committee, we were shocked. There were several staff that were out there pursuing further studies without proper even approval. Most of these people have not even signed a bond, but they were there having study leave. Some have not even submitted a single report. And there was one instance, even the kind of bond form, the guarantor's name wasn't there. Because there was no staff development policy in place. But we thank God, due to your own effort, together, we have now one in place. Thank you. So these were some of the key issues. Most positions were occupied by acting, as I already mentioned, as I won't repeat again, acting positions. And so these were some of the reasons why we need to develop this policy. So, space for staff. So now we are constructing this administrative block, which we call the multi-purpose, through IGF. And that is going to help address the space for the non-teaching staff. Whilst we hope that we're able to, the GMPC project will also solve the problem for the teaching staff. I've already mentioned that we also are planning to put up a multi-purpose, state-of-the-art central laboratory with offices as well. Okay. I've already mentioned the hospital for the staff. We have significantly improved security situation in the university. It used to be a problem on campus. Promotion. This one is an old, we said 216 out of 267 teaching staff, 14 associate professor and 1 professor. There are more. This is, I think, current numbers. Now, how many are so prof? About 19. But how many? About 18, 19 ASO prof. How many? When we were at Zoom office, we were 1 full professor and 4 ASO prof. Okay? So now we have a number of full profs and ASO prof, senior lecturers, a lot of upgrade to lecturers and all that. It's one of the areas we pay special attention, because I realized it was affecting our image. As we are getting query from auditors, then our image, because the quality of the staff was a factor. So we have worked hard to also improve. So now we have, I think there's a draw here. Yes. So we have assigned lecturers. Oh, no, this is not correct. This is not correct. Okay, so we have lecturers to several, from lecturers to assigned lecturers to lecturers, more several hybrid. We have senior lecturers, ASO prof and professors, a lot of them. So it's one of the areas we pay attention because in terms of welfare, it is number one welfare. If you improve, if you promote a staff, it affects the person's pension. So the welfare is very significant. And that is why we pay special attention as a way of improving the welfare of our staff. And so it's something that I think we have done so well. I clap for all of us. Now you clap for yourself. You see, it's because you make effort to put in, promote, like especially the teaching staff. That is why we have Scopus Index publications increased from 187 to 1,213. It's because you're putting in. And the good news is that our publications are so of high quality, and we so appreciate. Yes, so you are doing so well. So, and then also, I told you, now we have four deputy deputy registrars, yes, so far. And there was none, but now we have 4 deputies. Don't worry, because I'm getting tired. But we'll finish soon. So 4 deputy registrars. Oh, okay, sorry. But indeed, we have promoted 4. And unfortunately, one of them passed on. Okay? That's the first one that we promoted, unfortunately passed on. What's the name? Apia Kubi. But we did 4 promotions, and they all went through. 4 deputies, 1 person. We have 4. And then we have a lot of senior. So now we have people occupying some spaces. We still need more. So the non-teaching staff, please, we need to see more of you getting there. Whilst the teaching staff, we need more professors and associate professors, and so please try and do more for us. Okay, I think I mentioned of, you say that basic school was supposed to support the staff. And so these are some of the things that I've already mentioned, as I won't mention again. Now, Univeristy Basic Schools, ICT lab fully established, lesson notes introduced, training. The first time the teachers have received training from officials from the GS, from the DOMA, what's the name? The district. Yes. So they have received training for the first time. Now, parents can view their children's report through online software. So it's digitized now. Then tracking and collection of fees. We now, after opening an account, we've also appointed the accountant there. And so now the fees collection is helping. I think that is something which is very good. It's really helping. More qualified staff have also been added and all this. So I think the basic school has seen a lot of improvement. Oh, come on. I mentioned of security. We have done a lot at the security area. First, an office for the director. There was no office for the director or the head of IT. I think he has to squat somewhere at the clinic. Yeah, yes, security. Now we have office, well furnished, office for the head. We have uniform. They have ceremonial attire now. We've acquired motorbike for them. 2 motorbikes. One for Doma and one for Sunyane. Okay. Then we have also released our vehicle, one of the old pickup for, and then alumni, through the alumni, we've been able to secure, what do you call it? Walkie-talkies, Yes, walkie-talkies. We have 8 walkie-talkies for them to improve security, and all that. And you remember IGP also came here. The IGP, the 4 motorbikes wasn't given to us, but it's given to personnel of the Ghana Police Service to augment the patrol system. And you really understand, you bear with me that security situation has improved significantly. Okay? So these are all something that. Right, so we are aggressively pursuing landscaping to create healthy and serene environment. Because you see, you all must work hard, and to be able to work satisfactorily, you need a good environment. So we are doing that. We are renovating Odum Block, Computer Syndicate Hall. We are introducing digital culture, e-office, HR software. All this will make life very easy. If you want to apply for leave, just sit somewhere and apply it, and to go through the process. Procurement, everything will go through. Communication across, we're able to reduce. Organized training for all categories of staff, including council members. One of the things we have done, we have organized training for all categories of staff. I started that with the cleaning. The cleaning and the grounds people. Remember, after the training, we gave them a gown, a capi, and and we have also trained the senior staff. We've trained the senior members as well. I mean, diverse way, through several training. And so those things have done. We have also developed staff training and development policy. And that has also helped a lot because with the present, I mean, it's actually helping to tidy up our study leave issues. We have also significantly improved the religious life of the university. At least there's a proper regulation of all religious activity on campus. There have been peaceful coexistence between the two major religious groups on campus, the Islam and the Muslim and the Christians. And remember, we have all participated, programs about Muslims and all that. I think that is good. It's something which is very, very commendable. Shall we commend ourselves? We've done so well. We've introduced weekly non-denominational prayers and monthly prayers for all staff members and students. Yes, it's for all, even though few of you come. But the point is that, let me emphasize, the reason why we introduced this prayer meeting is that when the Zoom office and I went round and I saw the enormity, the magnitude of uncompleted project, I was taken aback. So I said, no, for this one, with the baby. So, and those of us who go to church at least, or who are Christians, in such situation, we have to call your God. So we started these prayers. And I thank the chaplain, for leading this. And whatever we've been able to achieve together, trust me, the prayers have sustained us this far. It doesn't matter, only few participate. For one person, God will be able to save the entire nation. So, and that is my belief. And we are really getting that. Inauguration and establishment of university staff choir. Wow, we've heard them this morning. And I think it's something which is very, very interesting. Dr. Anand, choir master, and the team, we thank you very much. This has also contributed to the visibility of UNEA through religious activity. In fact, the Christ Apostolic Church, during the fire conference that was introduced, they viewed all our programs online, with all their people coming. When recent one, Bishop Ajansari, before coming, they advertised across all their networks. And this led to visibility of the university. So I think it's something that is well commendable. So, Pastor, thank you very much for this. Look at what happened yesterday, night of tribute. It's because how we have organized this is very commendable. Once again, we thank all of you for that. So, our second term, we need to complete the ongoing project, establish an annual award scheme. That area we have not done well. I just also want to apologize for something here. We started something which never came, it didn't come off, about the award. Now we are going to institute it. We'll make sure we complete that one. I'm sure some of you have been waiting. As I said, I really apologize. We'll make sure we'll complete that one. And then every year, we institute an award scheme for the hardworking staff across the various categories. I think that's the way. We need to, in every institution, must acknowledge those who are working hard. Develop an effective human resource information system, which we are securing, procuring software for it. Introduce performance contract for all position holders. Those who have just been given deans, HODs, and directors. Before the next training program, we are going to all sign. established Center for Gender Studies. I think we set a committee to develop that. Yes, I think every university is supposed to have that. The 3CG came in as a project. Center for Climate Change can stand on its own with about 5 schools linked to it. Then we must have a gender-based center, which we need to work on that. It's very important. Then the last one is to institute land use, infrastructure, and landscape development policy to achieve environmental sustainability. One of the things that I observe, our invested land are not being properly acquired. The land at Doma, in Siatre, and some land in Sunyane had not been properly acquired. Now, that of the Sunyane, there's a portion of land that we're given, it's fully acquired. Then in Siatre, we thought we had finished with that. We pay for everything as far as the Nananum land is concerned. But I think just recently, we were told that within that portion, some of the portion is state land. And the understanding is that along the road, going to Doma, 30 meters, both sides, belong to state. You understand? The road, both 30 meters along the road, belong to state. So that one, we should register one separately. When we thought we have already done with that. So that one will also be done. But the entire land, as far as we know, we have also registered. So, but they have not been registered when we assume office. And that of Doma 2, in fact, not just registering, paying of, how do you call this? The rent. When the chiefs give you land, you pay for, how do you call it? Asida, thank you. We had not even paid Asida. At Insiatre, yes. No, I'm just saying, at the time, when the problems, when we assumed office, it came up. We had not paid Asida at Insiatre and Doma. I was told that Doma, we once gave a cow, but that one was in support during the festival, not in the name of paying of Asida. All right? But now, we have done the Asida above. The registration at Insiatre is done, apart from the recent message that those along the road. And the registration of the land at Doma is ongoing. Okay. Yes, so landscape was not aesthetically pleasing. I'm sure you will agree with me, Why? There were widespread presence of tree logs, trunks, stumps, and debris. If you look at in front of the new entrance, there were a lot of logs and trunks and that's where we have the new the pavilion. The trees were just hanging anyway. And some of the trees were wild. They were not properly planted. They just grew out. Because when it was a forestry school, they were using it for nursery as a practice. And some of them overgrew. And we saw them. And those of us who have done horticulture, we saw it and it was an eyesore. But I don't blame. Some of you are not that expert. So we thought they were nice trees. But they were really, But so no, that's the fact, because trees were elsewhere. But so there was a need to really landscape it. And I just mentioned that in front of the eye of God, then we see all that. Overgrown trees, huge accumulation of litter quite close to buildings, especially the new structures with their, what did they do? I mean, the contractors, and they've abandoned them and a lot of years. So we have to start, and as a result of that, we realized, so these were problems that we observed when we assumed office, okay? So what have we done together? We've registered, in fact, now this is not a full correct sentence. It's part of the land, some of the land have been registered. Okay, but the rest are ongoing. We have then established Grounds and Garden Department. Grounds and Garden was part of estate. So we decided to separate and then establish Department of Grounds and Garden to pay attention to the grounds. And I think that has really paid off. Then we appointed an expert curator, an expert to lead the grounds. Then we have established landscape horticulture plant nursery. If you look at behind the football pitch, they are establishing a nursery because we are going to do a serious landscaping across the university. So we are aggressively pursuing landscaping of the campus in phases. We are doing it in phases. We're going to do that here, and we're going to start that of Dama as well. We are also developing land use infrastructure and landscape development policy. A committee is in place to develop a landscape infrastructure policy for the university. It's very, very important. We are a school of energy. We are University of Energy. And so there should be our buildings. In terms of insulation, a lot of illumination, isn't it? The building structure is such that more air can come in so that you don't rely more on what? Fan. It should be able to attract more light so that you minimize and all those. So the committee is in place to develop this land building policy or infrastructure policy for our university. So, and also to improve water access and sanitation, which is still a problem. But I must commend especially the current works director and his team, estate. They've done so well in approaching this one. So these were some of the landscaping of selected areas. You can see in front of the Yorick. When I saw this, we've been receiving international guests all coming, and we go there, our ground stations. The environment wasn't good, so we tasked them to, and led by the curator. Now we have such nice thing. The university entrance too. Now you can see it. Even the pavilion area, you can see how it looked like, and all that. So they are developing a nursery. So the second term, we're going to implement land use, infrastructure, and landscape development master plan. We have landscape master plan. Just get ready. When I'm ready, you put in, okay? Landscape master plan that I've developed for the university. I will show you briefly. We're going to establish Center of Excellence for Circular Economy and Urban Resilience. Through that project, we're going to take advantage and introduce something like that, where we make sure zero, that's the criteria, zero emission, zero waste concept. We're going to continue landscaping across the campuses. We're going to construct a well-defined walkways within the campuses. In fact, from Zinco Junction, this way, up to the roundabout, on both sides, if we're able to pave both sides, and then we grow some hedges around, plus other avenue trees. Just imagine how it would be nice, so that our students do not have to walk on the road. And even the median, we can own the median. Then we can have something nice, flowers and shrubs, hedges. And that will make the university so beautiful. In the same way, if you're able to get this road, in fact, let me mention that the road network, when I Zoom office, contractor had just left the site. I find out, and I was told it was the vice president that promised us, and so I went to the Jubilee House and try and lobby if they could continue and all that. The contractor had submitted at that time certificate, but they had not paid him. They paid him, and that is what he was able to do. So you can see the new construction. So we realized it will not help. So we've lobbied, and they have abrogated that contract. We are lobbying seriously to get a new contractor to take over. Whatever happens, we know that with your support and prayers, if you're able to finish this ring road, now, I want you to use your imagination faculty to examine something. Just having this ring road, with a median, nice shrubs, with a hedgeways, both sides, pavement, on both sides. The median with the hedge, you understand? And then with avenue trees around. That would be the most beautiful campus on this university. I believe in UNE. That is it. We haven't seen it. You see, I see the future. And that is it. It's doable. Yes, it is possible. This one, nobody should have not plagiarized anything. Right, so we're going to do that. We have a lot of routes, a lot of routes. So we need to look at fencing. So we want to also fence parts, Then establish an ecotourism park within the forest reserve. We want to convert this forest reserve into a ecotourism park. And that is something that we are also trying to do. Well, as I said, all this is possible if we work together. It will not take a lot of money. So we have the new master plan. Are you going to show that one to me? So these are some of the buildings. The new administrative block, this is the state, right? And when the top, the left, when we are done, what you see will be the final, how it will look like, the new administrative block. So that is it. Yes, that's the hospital. When the hospital is done, it's also going to be like that. Yes. So the top is the new administrative block and then the hospital. And when you are done, that is how they look like. The new administration and then the hospital. And hopefully, the Methodist building, then Yorick building has been expanded. Yes. Now we have re-roofed it, modernized it. UNE school. Now we have UNE preschool. When we are done, this is Montessori type of preschool. So, this is within, inside, that's the inside, and this is it. So when we are done, we're able to. Basement library, the new library, this one wasn't. School of Science laboratory, thanks to the School of Science, the students there, they contributing to putting up a laboratory and office space, and these are the states. So in a basic school, this basic school was at a ground level when I assumed office. It was ground level uninhabited. And so initially the contractor finished the ground level, then we continue on to that. We hope to put another block across. And so, so those of you whose wards are there, please pay fees in time. Right, the auditorium, that was the state when we assumed office, and it was standstill. And now that is our new auditorium. It's not. We are still praying that, hoping that the bank, we are still talking, they'll be able to complete the rest for us. I think that we have already showed the new hospital. Right. So I think these are the security people, right? So the refurbished office, the walkie-talkie, the new security uniform, the ceremonial uniform. Now look, our security men, they have swag when they go to town, I'm telling you. That is true. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
It is. Okay. So please, yes. It is to give us a song, and then Vice Chancellor would give us his concluding remarks.
Thank you. Ooh, yay. Thank you, Jesus. We are so grateful for a day like this.
Thank you very much, Edith. We would invite the Works Department to walk us through the new landscape plan before the Vice Chancellor gives us his concluding remarks, and then the chair of the program will give us the closing remarks. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Architect Lawrence Montana Tibiru of the Works and Fiscal Development Directorate. At the instance of the Vice Chancellor, on March 22nd, 2024, an 11-man committee was set up, and then that was headed by my Director of Works, Surveyor Diodine Khalid. Our task was to develop a strategic direction for the land use and infrastructure development policy of the university. Okay, so the justification for the constitution of the committee was to ensure that our campus master plan aligns with the Prof. Okay. Ajua. Okay. So this is the existing master plan of the university, and then the committee came up with this proposed master plan. So giving you directional reference, and looking at the legend, the green areas show you the recreational areas, and then the yellow areas show you the academic areas, the brown areas show you the residential areas, the purple areas or the violet areas show you the commercial areas, and then the red areas show you the civic areas. So this is the proposed master plan, and then the orange area show you the mixed-use development. Every undertaking is underpinned by a concept and a philosophy. So the master plan was underpinned by the philosophy of modernism and a combination of modernism and smart growth. And then the concept was based on the concept of eclecticism. Anyway, okay. All right. So this is an area view of the proposed development, showing the various land uses, and then the various developments. Next one. And then also, this is also another area view shot that shows. So this is a shot from the road that you see is a ring road, and then the overhead, okay. Okay, so you go do the rolling. Okay, so the road network on the TV. Okay, so that is the ring road bordering the site on the northern sector. And then that's an overhead bridge to ensure safety for our students and also good environmental stewardship for the general university community, for the immediate surrounding communities. So there are two overhead bridges, one at the hostel end and one at the RC's end. There's a third one that is at the old gate. And then there's a fourth one that will be at the frames area. This is the Eye of God, showing various landscape elements, plants and trees that would show environmental stewardship, a sense of belonging, sense of purpose, and also a transition from the busy commercialized area straight to the civic area, which is a regional administration, and then transition into this avenue of royal palms and other species, showing royalty, like I said, sense of identity, good environmental stewardship. And then it goes all along towards the Brekum. So this is towards the Fiape roundabout. So the avenue of royal palms. And then this is the Berlin roundabout with the avenue of royal palms, showing hierarchy of roads and a distinct, unique environment. An environment that has a unique culture of an interplay between the different environment, natural elements, and also the built environment. The stories you see on your right-hand side are the commercial buildings. And then this is what you see, the area view, when you're looking at UNE, the academic half from the Get Fund hostel. So these are the two overhead walkway, footbridges that would ensure safety of, prevent pedestrian vehicular conflict. And then the printing press, it's a building that is sandwiched between the two overhead bridges. Okay. So this is, showing by the cursor, this is the printing press, and then these are commercial buildings that will come up. And these are other hostel facilities that will come up. And then we're also challenged with connecting both halves of the campuses. So there'll be an opportunity for us to design a subway or a flyover from the RC's end to link the other half of campus. And then there's another aerial shot that shows the future development and then also the various landscape elements. Our sanctuaries, okay. Charlie, where the, give me the animation there, the video.